Hey there and welcome to the Celeb Tea. Steve Harvey and Diddy, fame, secrets, and the fallout that's shaking the industry. Steve Harvey and Sean Diddy Combs. One is America's favorite host, known for clean comedy, sharp suits, and family values. The other is a hip-hop mogul turned billionaire businessman with a history of platinum records, private jets, and endless parties. At first glance, they come from different worlds, but behind the scenes, they shared a close connection that spanned decades. Now, that bond is reportedly falling apart, and depending on who you ask, it's a story rooted in loyalty, betrayal, or even something darker. Recently, Steve has started to speak out, not naming names, but dropping clues. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice the message hiding between the lines. What we're unpacking today isn't just idle gossip. It's a look into the tangled web of power, strategy, and scandal that runs through the entertainment industry. Let's set the stage first. Steve Harvey's rise is the stuff of legend. From sleeping in his car to headlining comedy tours, hosting Family Feud, running a nationally syndicated radio show, and publishing best-selling books like Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, Steve became more than just a comic, he became a media powerhouse. His journey inspired millions, marked by hard work, faith, and ambition. Then we have Sean Combs Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, whatever you choose to call him. He's the man behind Bad Boy Records, responsible for launching the careers of Biggie, Faith, Evans, Maze, and many more. Diddy didn't just produce music, he created a lifestyle brand. From C-Rock to Revolt TV, he built an empire off music, fashion, and relentless hustle. He was also known for hosting some of the most exclusive, high-profile parties in the industry, events whispered about for years, especially now. But what most people didn't know is that Steve and Diddy had more than just a passing acquaintance. They actually shared a deeper, more business-minded connection. They met decades ago, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, when Steve was breaking into national television and Diddy had already made his mark in music. While they moved in different circles, they were both black men navigating a white-dominated media landscape, and they found mutual respect in each other. Steve often mentioned in interviews that Diddy taught him a lot about branding, ownership, and how to turn visibility into longevity. Their bond wasn't just social, it was strategic. They weren't just waving across red carpets, they were having closed-door conversations about business. Steve credited Diddy with helping him understand how to build generational wealth. But as history has proven, just because someone is a genius in business doesn't mean their personal life is spotless. Let's talk about Diddy's parties, the ones whispered about across Hollywood. These weren't your average celebrity get-togethers. They were reportedly exclusive, invite-only events with high-profile guests, ironclad Nas, and no phones allowed. Industry insiders have claimed these parties had an edge, something unspoken, unrecorded, and sometimes unsettling. According to those in the know, Steve wasn't just a one-time attendee. He was seen regularly at these gatherings. Now, let's be fair, there's no public evidence that Steve did anything illegal or inappropriate. But questions inevitably rise. What did he see? What did he hear? Why was a man so publicly rooted in faith and family values repeatedly linked to environments now surrounded by controversy? And then there's Lori Harvey, Steve's stepdaughter, and the turning point for much of this story. In 2019, the internet went wild when Lori was spotted dating Justin Combs, Dotty's son. The relationship was young, trendy, and seemingly innocent. But things took a shocking turn just months later when Lori was photographed vacationing in Italy, not with Justin, but with Diddy himself. Matching outfits, public embraces, paparazzi snapping away. And guess who was also reportedly on that trip? Steve Harvey. People were floored. Headlines asked, Is Steve okay with this? How could a man known for protecting his family sit quietly while his stepdaughter dated someone twice her age, who also happened to be his longtime associate? Steve didn't say much publicly. No angry rants. No cryptic tweets. Just a tight-lipped smile on Family Feud. But behind the scenes, insiders say it wasn't smooth sailing. That vacation may have been more about damage control than a family getaway. It left a permanent dent in the Harvey-Diddy connection, one that never quite healed. Fast forward to 2024 and 2025, and Diddy's world is falling apart. FBI raids, civil lawsuits, allegations from multiple women, rumors of secret rooms, surveillance footage, and years of hidden activity. The mogul who once threw the most glamorous parties in entertainment can barely step outside without cameras tracking his every move. And where's Steve Harvey in all this? Gone. Not literally, but metaphorically. He's nowhere near Diddy now. He hasn't mentioned him. He didn't bring him on the radio show. He even deleted a tweet from 2017 praising Diddy, right when the first lawsuit surfaced. That's not a coincidence. That's calculated distance. Then came the cryptic comments. On his radio show, Steve dropped a line. Loyalty is a beautiful thing, but if it's directed at the wrong person, it can ruin your life. It was subtle, but fans picked up on the subtext. Was he referring to Diddy? In interviews, his tone has noticeably shifted. He's said things like, "I used to think silence was strength, but sometimes silence protects the wrong people." Another quote stood out. "If y'all knew what I knew, you'd understand why I walk the way I do now." That doesn't sound like a punchline. It sounds like a warning. Recently, more explosive rumors have come forward from self-described insiders claiming that Steve was more involved than we ever realized. One individual alleged that 25 years ago, Steve attended one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties and may have been caught on camera. Some claim Diddy has been using footage to extort money from Steve for decades. As disturbing as this sounds, it's important to stress these claims are unverified and highly controversial. Still, they've been circulating in backstage conversations, podcast episodes, and comment sections across social media. It's even been suggested that Diddy's relationship with Lori wasn't just scandalous, it was strategic, a form of payback, a way to hold leverage over Steve by getting close to someone he loves. Again, there's no way to confirm these rumors without concrete evidence. But they reflect something bigger. People in the industry are starting to talk. Not publicly, but in whispers, in text threads, in green rooms. Diddy's secrets were never as secret as the public believed, and Steve, by proximity, saw more than most. Today, Steve is making moves, scrubbing social media, shifting friend groups, and speaking in parables. He's watching the walls close in, doing what many consider damage control. So what was Steve's true role? Some say he was a victim manipulated, silenced by loyalty, caught in a trap he didn't know how to escape. Others believe he was just a witness present but uninvolved. And then there are those who think Steve played the game well, benefited from the relationship, and walked away when the cost became too high. Whatever the truth is, it's complicated. Steve Harvey has always had a squeaky clean image, one of the rare black entertainers to truly cross over without losing respect from the culture. But this Diddy saga has placed a spotlight on him that won't fade easily. Now fans want to know. What did you know, Steve? And when did you know it? If he continues to stay vague, his silence might speak louder than any confession. But if he's too honest, he risks blowing up decades of hard-earned credibility. Either way, his legacy is at a crossroads. Here's the bottom line. Steve Harvey isn't moving aimlessly. He's making deliberate, strategic choices enough to protect himself, but not so much that he gets pulled down in the chaos. But when the dust settles, we'll all remember who spoke up and who faded out of the group photo. What do you think? Is Steve innocent? Should he speak up? Or did he already say everything he could? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Celeb Tea for more breaking stories from the world of fame, power, and secrets.